From a mysterious grating noise that gave American diplomats health problems to a weird undersea sound louder than any animal could ever produce, here are 10 mysterious sounds that we simply can't explain. Number 10. Havana Syndrome. This is a real occurrence from only a few years ago, and it caused strange medical symptoms in a number of people who lived and worked in Havana, Cuba. In August 2017, both American and Canadian diplomats and diplomatic assistants who were staying at the Hotel Nacional and other locations in Havana. The reported issue was with a long, grating, metallic sound, or other times a sense of pressure, or a rushing noise pulsating from a single direction. They couldn't isolate the causes, and the incidents lasted anywhere from a few seconds to half an hour. Astonishingly, other people in nearby hotel rooms never noticed this phenomenon, but multiple people who worked for the US State Department had to leave Cuba, and some even suffered brain damage. One man now uses a hearing aid. Clearly, something was going on behind the walls in this hotel. After several years of investigation, including MRI scans, doctors concluded that some of the diplomats were suffering from what appeared to be a long-term concussion. That's right, the brain injury was like a concussion without ever having had a collision with their skull. The doctors do not believe that this was purely in the diplomats' imaginations, nor do they think it was due to an animal or other natural cause. Could it have been due to exposure to toxic chemicals? It's possible. Could it have been a virus of some type? Unlikely, as researchers did not discover unusual antibodies in the diplomats' blood. No, they suspect directed microwave radiation, targeting citizens while they worked. If it's true, it means that other countries have developed hidden energy weapons that can narrowly affect a small area and cause neurological damage. Truly a scary thought. Number 9. Skyquakes. A skyquake is a loud noise like a sonic boom, but without any discernible cause. It emanates, of course, from the sky. Some people call them hoaxes, but there is mounting evidence from video and audio recordings of strange noises just erupting out of thin air high up in the atmosphere. They sound like trumpets, or cannons, or sharp drum beats. They have been reported all over the world for many years. In the distant past, early humans may have heard noises like these and thought they signaled an angry god or a mystical catastrophe. Today, scientists suspect that many of these skyquakes are caused by meteors during the daytime that we can't see but that disintegrate up in the sky. Additional explanations are strange perturbations of the sun's gases or the Earth's magnetic field. If a solar flare reaches out far enough, it's possible that it could disturb the Earth's magnetic field and we might notice something. A skyquake might also be some type of hidden underground earthquake that we hear but can't feel on the surface. Tectonic events can cause all types of strange phenomena. It could also be noise from faraway thunderstorms or avalanches or volcanic eruptions. Then again, some folks believe that skyquakes are caused by miniature black holes flying past our planet without ever disturbing anything except the atmosphere. Then there are those who suspect that they are caused by extraterrestrial activity. It's interesting to hear all the possible explanations for this widespread and totally bizarre phenomenon. Have you ever heard a skyquake? When and where? What was it like? Did anyone record it? Did you report it to the authorities? Tell me about your experience with a skyquake in the comments below. Then, be sure to subscribe to The Biggest for more amazing videos just like this one. Number 8. Taos Hum. In the heart of New Mexico, in a little town called Taos, there have been persistent reports of a strange, low-frequency rumbling or humming sound for decades. Not everyone can hear the noise, and sometimes it's more of a throbbing, pulsing sound, and other times it's more of a droning noise. The noises are often localized, but without any discernible causes. Some people believe that it's totally psychosomatic, meaning the people who claim to hear it or simply hearing illusions within their brain. It's also possible that the noise is caused by the people's own bodies, their blood rushing through their veins, their heart pumping, and so on. The condition of tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, has also been proposed as a cause, where the tinnitus is triggered by certain zones of low atmospheric pressure. However, it's also possible that different pieces of machinery issue low noises that many people don't even notice, but that turn into incessant nuisances for others. In one case, some people actually found a wasp's nest within their house as the culprit, but many times it's simply a part of the background of living in this rural part of the United States. Could it be caused by military operations nearby? It's entirely possible. Will we ever know? The answer to that is less clear. Number 7, Upsweep. This is an unidentified sound, which was recorded multiple times over the last 30 years by the American National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. It occurs somewhere in the South Pacific Ocean, some of the most remote area on the entire planet. It actually repeats itself every year, twice a year, which must mean that either the Earth's rotation or the temperature of the surrounding water has something to do with this noise. It's not likely caused by animals, as it's so loud that no animal could produce it. What does it sound like? Because it's at such a low frequency, it's hard for a human to identify it, but it sort of sounds like a much slower version of a car burglar alarm. It's a repeating sound that increases in pitch. It's possible that a massive group of animals could be producing this noise, but it's not likely. Scientists have guessed that it's caused by volcanic activity underwater. It remains a source of contention even today. Number 6, the ping. This strange sound occurs somewhere in northern Canada, in a narrow channel called the Fury and Hecla Strait. It's located between Baffin Island and the Melville Peninsula in the giant territory with very few residents, known as Nunavut. It's a remote piece of ocean geography, and it's the site of something very odd. There is a bizarre sound, or set of sounds, that have been called acoustic anomalies by scientists, and are known to scare sea animals. The military in Canada has been sent to investigate the source of these weird noises, which are possibly volcanic or caused by some strange ice activity. However, other explanations are out there. Is it possible that this spot is the site of something paranormal? Or perhaps it's something to do with an animal species that's never been sighted above water. A giant, ancient shark might be able to make these types of noises and evade capture by swimming away into more remote waters. It would likely appear on radar or sonar though, right? All organizations with a presence up there have denied knowledge or responsibility. This includes mining firms and environmental groups like Greenpeace. This is still a total mystery, and as of now, no explanation has gathered any convincing evidence to support it. Number 5, Forest Grove Sound. This sound is particularly disturbing. It's been described as a metallic or mechanical scream or screech. It occurred in February 2016 throughout the town of Forest Grove in Oregon. No one knew what was to blame. Late at night, this mysterious sound would simply emanate from the air, like a faulty car brake or a train whistle. The Department of Forestry claimed that it was not their equipment causing the sound, and there were no known gas leaks or issues with gas lines that could have caused it. It wasn't even pinpointed to a single place, as the noise was heard in different parts of town at different times. Many people called the police suggesting that aliens or wild animals were causing this strange and disturbing noise. Then, just like that, at the end of February, the noises stopped. No one claimed that it was their car or a house air conditioning or heating system that was causing it. It simply disappeared. Could it have been some piece of new technology being tested by a top secret government team? It's unlikely, but possible. Could it have been caused by extraterrestrial activity? Again, unlikely, but we don't know. Could it have been something paranormal? There are those who claim that it was caused by ghosts, but of course, they have no proof. It's truly a mystery that may never be solved. Number 4. The whistle. This is another mysterious sound that was only picked up once in 1997. It too was most likely caused by volcanic activity, but that's the go-to explanation for everything. It was only ever heard on one audio recording device, rather than the 3 necessary to use triangulation to pinpoint the location of the source. However, it sounds eerie when you listen to it. Though scientists claim that it resembles erupting undersea volcanoes, the truth is, these noises resemble something totally paranormal. Imagine being at the source of these incredible sounds. The deep ocean is pitch black, but suddenly massive amounts of rocks start flying everywhere as a cataclysm takes place. If we had a submarine in that area, it would have been in true mortal danger. Number 3. UVB 76. This is a sound that comes from a shortwave radio station somewhere in Russia. But Russia is a huge place, and it's hard to pinpoint where it originates within the massive country. It broadcasts on the 4,625 and 4,810 kilohertz frequencies with a very strange noise. You can hear it if you tune a radio to listen in, but you'll only hear a buzzer over and over again forever. It sounds like a truck's horn or a ship's foghorn repeating once a second. It's been operating since the mid-1970s and seems like it's probably a military-related radio station. However, at random intervals, the buzzing stops. A voice occasionally comes on and dictates random numbers and names. People try to decipher these codes, but no one has been able to explain exactly what it is. There are call signs, and very occasionally, bits of conversation can be heard between the buzzing. These bits of conversation appear to be accidental, and mostly related to people discussing transmissions or equipment malfunctioning. However, some investigators have guessed that this station is part of Russia's nuclear defense system, and if it ever stops broadcasting, it will indicate that a war has started and will trigger a massive, retaliatory nuclear strike. That's extra troubling because in the year 2020, more and more anomalous sounds and snippets of conversation have been heard coming from this station. What does it mean? Only the top members of the Russian military know for sure. Number 2, 52 Hertz whale. This whale is called the loneliest whale in the world, and it's for a good reason. Apparently, most normal blue whales call out at a lower frequency of 10 to 39 Hertz. This means that this whale has an unusually high-pitched voice, and it's possible that other whales can't hear it or don't respond to it because it's not communicating at the sound frequency they recognize. Some people have guessed that the whale is deaf. They think it could also be a strange hybrid species that isn't welcomed in any one whale community. It certainly can't find a mate, which must be troubling for it, singing a mating call for so many years and getting no responses. It migrates around a vast area of ocean, from the southern coast of Alaska all the way down to the area halfway between Hawaii and Mexico. Apparently, it was first detected over 30 years ago, which means this whale has successfully survived and thrived deep in the ocean for decades. But no one can seem to find it, and it's become a secret celebrity, with songs and movies inspired by the message of one solitary creature that can't communicate with any members of its own species. Some folks have gone out in boats searching for this mysterious creature, but none have found it yet. With enough funding, some researchers may be able to find it someday and learn more about what makes it so unique. Number 1, Bloop. This is the most notable mysterious sound in recent history. It was also recorded in 1997 and was most likely caused by strange iceberg activity on the ocean floor near the southern tip of South America. Of course, icebergs float on top of the water, but if an iceberg crashed into a piece of land, Or if the iceberg ran into a higher patch of ocean floor, it could have caused a massive disturbance. The sound, of course, resembles the sound of bubbles bubbling up to the surface of water, perhaps like a piece of ice breaking off the bottom of an iceberg and swiftly floating up to the surface. However, there has been speculation that the bloop was actually caused by a mysterious and massive undersea creature, able to make a call louder than even the blue whale. There was even, for a time, a theory that claimed that this noise was actually caused by a nuclear weapon or nuclear submarine detonating underwater in the far reaches of the planet. However, an ice floe crashing into another one, or an iceberg breaking off of a larger patch of sea ice, or some other natural geologic or ice-related cause is probably to blame. Then again, if there were some type of conscious source of this noise, that's what they would want us to think, isn't it? If I were a mad scientist or a government agency with a secret lab on some unmarked island near Antarctica, I would use icebergs as a cover for all the sounds from my experiments. Wouldn't you? That's all for the biggest mysterious sounds in the world. But which ones captured your imagination the most? Tell me what you think the real causes are for all of these events. Then remember to subscribe to The Biggest if you haven't already. Another fun video is right around the corner. I'll see you then.